Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing this really pretty red holiday look. I think it's so beautiful. I love the way it came out. Everything looks really pretty. I did dip into some new palettes that I will be going over. I'm really excited. This is the first time I dip into anything from Glamlite. I've been following the brand for a couple years now and I finally picked up some things from them and I love the quality of their shadows. I think it's so beautiful. If you're into or want to get into really beautiful, colorful shadows, I think their formula is amazing and they have a ton of variety depending on what you want. Also, the themes of these palettes are crazy. I have a burger palette, I have a pizza palette, a cake palette, a donut palette, a taco palette. Just the most creative concepts to their palettes, and the layouts are beautiful, the colors are beautiful, and like I said, the formula is amazing. And with those palettes, I did create this really beautiful holiday red look. I'm really into it. I love how it came out. It's exactly the way I wanted it. My style of makeup is definitely a lot softer, more blended. I am not super into really harsh lines. Even when I do a cut crease, it's usually not super sharp. I like it soft. I like a really soft blended style of makeup. That's just my style. That's just my preference when it comes to my kind of artistry. But of course, you can do your different type of interpretation of this video, or if you're just watching for entertainment, I hope you enjoy. One thing I did want to mention is I did skip ahead to the eye look, so I will be putting in the description, like I always do, a full list of products that I used. So if you want to go ahead and see me do this look, just go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so we're just going to jump into the eye look. I already did my foundation, concealer, powder, brows, and I already primed my eyelids. So what I want to do is just really keep this video eye focused. For this eye look, I am going to be dipping into some Glamlite eyeshadow palettes. And I have the burger palette, the taco palette, and then the two palettes that kind of look like, what are these, paint palettes? I think that's what they're called. So we're going to be dipping into all of these. I'm going to be doing a red Christmas look. There is a lot of really pretty red tones in all of these, so I'm just going to quickly show you the layout of each palette. This is the burger palette, and I have swatched some of these, and they are so pretty. This is what the taco palette looks like. This is the smaller one that looks like a paint palette, and then this is the larger one. So these are a lot of your basic colors, and then the other one has a little bit more of a variety of each shade. So I think I have a plan. I'm gonna go ahead and go in and pack this into the crease, slightly buff it out. This is the shade Crimson Red, and we are just going to pack that in the crease. I also have a good amount of bake under my eyes to catch any fallout, but first dip. So this picks up a good amount of product. There's not a ton of kick up either. So that's nice. So I'm not gonna bring that too far in because I don't want it to get super messy. It's already getting pretty messy because this brush is pretty fluffy. So what I might do is switch to a more denser brush and pack that in a little closer. Now taking a smaller brush, we're just going to scratch at that edge and slightly buff that out. So I kind of want to deepen this up and not lose the red. So I'm thinking about mixing a little bit of salsa roja and carne asada from the taco palette. These names though. And I'm really just going to follow that socket bone. And then I'm going to take the first brush where we took Crimson Red and just blend right over that. And then on the outer corner, I'm just going to bring it down to the corner of the lash line. Now that we have that brown mixture kind of set there for some depth, we're going to go ahead and cut the crease now. And to cut my crease, I'm going to be going into, what was that? I'm going to be going into my e.l.f. Original Camo Concealer. I'm going to be putting a little bit on the back of my hand and using my Luxie brush. This is the 245 small shader brush. It's a nice thin flat shader brush. And because this brush is so thin and stiff, I find it really easy to cut my crease with this. I think I've gone over how to cut my crease in a previous video, but I'm just going to go over it really quickly again. So I just take some concealer and run it along my lash line, and then I kind of look up, and there it'll leave kind of like a little guide on where to kind of cut your crease. And then you just want to lightly fill in and shape your eye look. So I've seen some people use like Vaseline to kind of clean out that area first before they go in with concealer. I'm just too lazy to do that. All right, and then I'm just going to kind of pat the concealer, and also I'm going to try to pick up any extra product with my finger and take it off so it does not crease. And then before I go in with anything on my lid, I'm going to go ahead and reinforce that line with the darker shade that we kind of mixed in this taco palette. I'm going to go ahead and take this smaller detail brush with those two shades that we mixed and kind of go right over that line that we have set for the crease. These are supposed to be the same brushes from Sonia Kashuk. This is the newer one in the newer packaging. This is the original, and guys, they're not the same brush. This one's a lot more shorter and a little fluffier. It's still very stiff shadow brush, but this one's just, I don't know, it's a little fluffier. This one's a little bit more contained and longer, which is why I like this one in the old packaging from Sonia Kashuk. I don't know, but this is the older one and I kind of like it better, so you can't get it anymore, I'm sorry. And then for the lid, I'm going to be going into the Burger palette and taking this shade in Thousand Island. How cute. And it's like Thousand Island. Get it? Like the dressing, but it's an eyeshadow. Then we're just going to go ahead and buff this shade onto the part that we carved out with the concealer. And then just taking my finger and the majority of the lid, I'm going to be pressing that on with my finger. And then knocking off any bigger chunks of glitter. I think the base with the concealer mixed with the red that kind of turned a little pink made it a little bit more rosier. And I think that's pretty. What do you guys think? That's pretty. Now I'm going to go ahead and just do the same thing on this eye, and we will be right back. I'm just going to go ahead and tweak them just so they match a little bit better. Like, I think this one, it needs a little bit more darkness around where I did this. And the key to blending out colors is to make smaller scratching or circular motions. And the reason you're keeping them smaller is because you can kind of lose control of a colored shadow more than you would like a natural tone shadow. And then usually when you're using a color shadow, it's going to have a lot of contrast against your natural skin tone. And so it's going to show up a lot more if you make any kind of mistakes, or if it's a little bit more harsh. You're gonna notice it more because it's a colored shadow on top of a natural skin tone. Does that make sense? I hope so. And like, I'm really like barely touching my skin to make sure I get like a really nice blend on it. I have been loving these products a lot lately. They just add the most perfect amount of sparkle, and it's a really easy way to apply glitter into a look. These are the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Liners, and I am kind of drawn to this shade in Volume. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger like that and kind of like mix it around so it's not so like clumped up. And we're just going to dab this on our lids. Yeah, this shade, even though it adds a lot of little glitteriness, the shade on the lid is so metallic that it kind of meshes well. I like it. I feel like you can see it a lot more in person than on the camera, which is a bummer because it looks really pretty. Okay, I'm just going to take a little bit of my powder foundation. This is the best way that I find to clean up the brow area and not make it look like so crazy by making it too light. Just go right underneath the brow and kind of fill in that area with the powder foundation so it stays my skin tone. I also find that this helps if you've blended the color a little bit too far and there's not a whole lot of room for blending. This will kind of just stop it there and kind of help diffuse those corners. And then you can go ahead and take a small blending brush and just kind of work those edges and really blend those in. It is time to take the bake off. So now that we're done with the majority of the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and bronze up with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. For blush, I'm going to be going into the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in the shade Feisty. For highlight, I'm going to be going into my giant version of the Laura Mercier Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator in the shade Gilded Honey. All right, back to the eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and take this shade from the Taco palette in Onions. It's a nice white gold shade. We're just going to pop that into the inner corners. I'm just gonna drag that up a little bit onto the lid. Is this a lash look? Guys, are we gonna dip into lashes? All right, I'm going to take this is the Luxie 209 large shader brush. I love how pinched this brush is, how nice and flat, but also fluffy it is, because it makes it really easy to blend on the lower lash line. And I am going to take that crimson shade, kind of tilt my head down, and we're going to start off by packing it where we want it to get the majority of the color where we want it. And then just start buffing it to diffuse it and help blend it out. Now, only taking the shade Carne Asada from the Taco palette, I'm going to push my under eye in just to kind of expose that waterline. And I'm going to blend this on the lash line. Just like that. So, believe it or not, guys, I found these lashes at Dollar Tree. If you ever see the brand Eoni at Dollar Tree, look at their styles. Their styles are absolutely stunning. Ooh, look at those. They're so pretty, so wispy. So pretty, so wispy. So the edges of these lashes do go out a little bit. I'm just going to trim those little nubs off. Then I'm taking a black liquid liner and just coloring this in. All right, now that I have a line, I'm not winging it. Even though now I kind of want to wing it because I made that way too thick. I'm not going to wing it. Now I'm just applying some glue. We're going to go ahead and let those get tacky. I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes and throw a little bit of mascara on. Should we do like this kind of nude? Yeah, we'll do this. This is the, this lip is so comfortable. This is the NYX Lip Lingerie in the shade Ruffle Trim. Should we make it like more festive? I have like some little glitters that we might put on like our cheek. Take a look at these silver ones. I have a bunch of these little like Target one spot glitters and I'm trying to see what would work for this look. I like feel weird when I go like this because like brushing my eyebrows. Should we do this on one side or both sides? They also have candy canes. I'm not sure if I love the candy canes. I might just stick to the snowflakes. I had like 3 candy canes out and they fell to the floor. So they're just gonna stay there. All right, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love the way this red holiday look came out. I love the little touches of the snowflakes. I think that's really cute. Definitely keep your eye out. I think I got these this year. These are the little silver snowflakes, and I got these in the Target One Spot area. Target always has really cute, like holiday appropriate glitters, like chunky glitters, like big glitters like this. In 2021, I definitely want to be a little bit more creative with my looks and use a lot more of my collection because I have a pretty large collection and I want to make the most out of it. If you go ahead and like this video, give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe. I upload every single Friday, Saturday, sometime in the weekend. You can find me on my socials, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok at Corina MUA. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.